Hi everyone. How are you all doing today? There's only four. Okay. Maybe people are busy with their projects, or maybe there's too much. Are we like providing too much information? Do you feel like you're overwhelmed? Okay. So maybe that's the reason. Anyone joined today in the morning? Like, do you remember how many people were in the morning? Okay. So in the morning, it was about events. Okay. So was it like in the morning, was it difficult, or was it like so more new information? You felt it's like a new information for you, or
Hi, Salam. So we always have new information, of course,
okay.
but it was just a bit too much. That's why maybe people just like busy with lunch.
Oh, okay.
Also, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Well, one of my assignments, like it was like supposed I supposed to submit it before I supposed to finish it, and I also passed the due date itself. So do I
Okay.
still get full mark, or like I'm gonna, I don't know.
So make sure that you like resubmit it, and then um like let us know that you have done so, that you have resubmitted the assignment,
Mhm.
and we will like grade it one more time. We'll look at it one more time. So
Okay.
yeah, so you can resubmit it, but let us know that you've done that.
Yeah,
If
perfect.
yeah, okay.
Oh, there was 10 people. Now there's only 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm asking because I want to like listen from you. So if it's like overwhelming, we can tell Hafsa and see what we can do.
Yeah, because we're just gonna just focus on our projects. That's why people just like don't want to add any new information, and
All right, yeah.
yeah, because that's how I felt. I'm not sure about the others, to be honest.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, that's very helpful.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Today we are gonna talk about regular expressions. So in this week, we are trying to, like, since you're working on your projects, to like revisit some topics that we covered, but we didn't cover like deeply, like the events and today regular expressions and timeouts. So so the idea is not to take like new topics, but to dive deep into previous topics that we have like visited for yeah, for a short time, or for, yeah, not in a deep way. But if you're finding this overwhelming, I understand, yeah, because you're working on a project, and it's been like a month now, or month and a week since the beginning. So okay, I'll keep that in mind while presenting today, and I'll let Hafsa know. Need a break, okay. So there's the winter break soon. I mean, not very soon, month after month and a half, I think. Yeah. Actually, you might feel overwhelming, but like after a while, you after let's say the winter break, once we like slow down and take a break, and once you come back, you will see the benefit of this like of this, of this amount of information that you're working on. And yeah, also I know like many of you has other responsibilities outside of this. So yeah, I'm gonna deliver this to Hafsa and see what we can do. Do you have any suggestions for like what is in your mind? Like let's say okay, someone mentioned a break, but okay, watching lectures again. Okay. Yeah, this is what we are trying to do partially or sort of like to revisit what we have done in previous lectures. Um, okay, then I'm gonna start today slowly, and I'm not gonna uh, okay. Okay, so also the labs. So you can use the labs as a time of doing exercises and watching videos one more time. And again, while we are doing this, we are using JavaScript one more time. I mean, we are writing what you have learned already from previous lessons. So this could be a kind of an exercise, but yeah, I know you have projects, you have exercises. Uh, I'll try to be like to work slowly, more slower than before, and to not dig deeper, like much deeper into uh, today's topic. So I'll try to make it lighter. Uh, okay. So regular expressions. Um, I think we have visited this before. Do you remember like when we talked about patterns, or we didn't? I can't remember. But regular expressions is about having a pattern, and um, so we have this text here, and we want a certain pattern that we let's say extract or search, or we can do multiple operations on this text through a pattern. This is called regular expressions, and it's very famous and popular. It's you can find it in many programming languages, if not even all. It has maybe it has different syntax from one language from another, but the idea is to write a pattern in a certain way. This is one way, which is to have two slashes, and in between you can add your pattern. And to apply this to a string. So one way, for instance, I want to search, I have a text, I want the word quick, for instance, or fox. So I want to find this word, or to check if it exists in this text, and so on. So I define the pattern as I told you here. And there's many functions that we can use to make this to check this. So okay, before that, there's two ways to define define the pattern. One way is, as I told you, the two slashes, I mean. And the other way is to use the function, regular expression. So I can say regular expression, and I can say false. This or the previous one, which is this, is the same. So I have this pattern, and so I have two functions that I can use with regular expressions, the execute and the test. So let's look at each. Oh, am I okay? I'm muted for how long I have been muted? Okay, since 2 minutes. All right. I'm gonna like talk one more time about what I was saying. So I was talking about regular expressions, and so regular expressions is a way to it's a way to define a pattern of a text and to apply this pattern into a text or a string. So the way to define the pattern is we have two ways to do this in JavaScript. So we either do two slashes and we say jumps, or we use the regular expression function. So this is the regular expression function, and we inside the regular expression function, we use like our pattern. We add our pattern. Or we can use the two slashes and we put our pattern inside. Now there's multiple ways to define our pattern. But before that, let's look at these two functions. The first functions of regular expression is execute, exec. So this function execute a search and return an array. So the function, we call the function using regular expression pattern, and we provide text as an argument. So the pattern would be applied to the text, and we will receive the result. It's like a search query, you can say. So I have Fox here as the pattern. I'm gonna search text for this pattern. Or you can use, again, you can use the other way, which is the two slashes. So this would return me an array. Let's look at the results. So the array gives me the the search query. What did I find? Okay, I find, this is my results, Fox. I find Fox. The index where I found that result. So the index here is of letters. So if you start counting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. As you can see, I have index 16 at the Fox here, at the beginning of Fox. And also it's gonna give me the input, like what I gave the pattern in the beginning. And there's also groups. We are not gonna talk about this today to make stuff easier. But it's very powerful, very useful, and again, you can find it in many languages. So let's look at my results here. So it's an array, as I told you, this is index array of, as you know, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 of the array. So match found, Fox. Okay. There is also okay, let's for now let's skip this. So results 0, as you can see, this is 0, this is index, the key is index. This is 0 because it's an array. It's gonna give me Fox and the index. If there's no match, then I'll have no match found, because the result is null. Another function for using pattern is called test. So we can test if the pattern exists or not in the text. So okay, here we need just to print result. So if you want to check if a pattern exists, you can just say use test. It's going to give you true or false. If it exists, it's going to give you true. Samina, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. So when we do a console log result, we get a whole list of, we have the Fox and we have the index. So the index, we can, access it by saying result.index. But what about the word Fox? Because Fox has nothing in front of it. So how do we access this one? The value, the word Fox.
Right. So we access it using the array. So as you can see here, so I'm accessing results of Fox through result 0, because this is an array of different indexes. So
Okay.
1 does not exist,
Right.
because there's a key, but here there's no key, right?
Yeah.
But so this is index 0.
Okay.
Of the array.
And this index 16 would be a result 0.16?
Result.index.
It will be result.index or result0.index.
Yes. So if we want to access the regex array, so we either use the keys here, like index or input, the whole input, or we can, and for the results, we are going to use the array index.
Okay, what if there's, so this is just one element. So what about we have multiple, like we have another one, for example, a
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. So let's
So-
say we have this regex. So as you can see, I've captured 2.
Okay.
So we have this as 0 with 0 index, and this with 1 index. So we access it using result 0, result 1.
Oh, so both of them have a common INDEX index and a common input. Is that what it is?
Sorry, common what? Can you say that again, please?
So over here, what I see, you've
Yeah.
the one that you printed. So you have fox and you have ox, and
Yes.
there are 2 elements. So this can be accessed using result 0 and the result 1, but there is only one index for both, index 16. So if I do result.index for, so it's the index 16 is not for any one of them, it's for both of them, like.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you for the question. So here there is multiple indexes. We have the indexes of the result array, which is 0 and 1. And we have the index of the regex, the whole regex, where we found it first. So this index is where we found the regex, which is this index is the index of the letters. But this index is the index of the array. It's 0, 1. So the array is like this. We have fox, then we have ox, then we have index 16, then we have input equal. So this is the array. So if you want to access this, we say result 0. If you want to access this, we say result 1. But if we want to access index, we say result.index. Now this index is the index of the letters, these letters. But this index is the result of the array, this array. Is it okay now?
Okay, so the index is the index of the text, the whole text.
Exactly.
So when you say 16, so what is that 16? What is that 16?
Yeah. So we are working with strings. So this is a string, and the index of the letter, like this is index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16.
So basically what you're saying is that the fox and the ox, so we can only have words that are derivative of each other. We cannot have fox and jump or fox and lazy.
Yes, you can. So we can say fox. It depends on the regex. It depends on the pattern. So the pattern I'm looking at now is fox. Let's say you
dog, maybe, you know, we're looking at animals here, maybe.
So we can say fox and dog. Okay, no match found. We need to go to the regex and see how this could be captured. Maybe like this. You can, but this is what I was going to talk next, is
Oh, okay.
how we it's this one, how we like capture text, the text that we want.
Okay.
So there's many operations, as you can see. One of those, the one I was using, is this, like the parenthesis. So when you add parenthesis to your text, it's gonna say, okay, save this as like as a second or a different index in the result array. So as you can see, it has a different input. We can look at its capture. It's called capture. Match X and remembers the match. So if we have FOO, matches and remembers FOO in FOO. So if you have the text, I'm gonna capture this. I'm gonna find, in this case, I'm gonna find this as well. Once we like dive deeper on this, I'm gonna show you another example. The thing is with regex is it's very powerful, but at the same time, it's, as you can see, there's many symbols and many ways to like access text and define a pattern. You don't need to memorize all this. Actually, ChatGPT would be a very good resource for this. So let's say, give me a JavaScript regex to capture two words that capture two certain words, let's say. So as you can see, here's the regex. It's this one. It's of this shape. So I can say, okay, I want the fox, but I also want the dog. So each one of these characters has a like a meaning. We will look at those in a moment. So it gave me everything from fox jumps over the lazy dog. It gave me from fox to dog, but I want only the two words. So I have fox and I have dog, and I have the full regex. So now I can access okay, I can say one, I can say two, I can access the fox and the dog. So the pattern is this pattern is to find fox, and then whatever the space between the fox and the dog is, also consider it, and also find dog. So find fox and dog, and whatever the space between them. This means whatever you can say, or let's look at the formal definition of it. So we have the dot here, and we have the here's the dot, has one of the following meanings, matches any single character. So I have the dot and I have the star. The star matches the preceding item, X, 0 or more items. So basically it says whatever comes after Fox, this, and if there is dot, give me this regex. And as you can see, I have it here. Then using the parentheses, I captured Fox and captured dog, and I have it in a separate index. And I use I. This is after the regex, you can use flags. I means insensitive. So if you have dog in capital letters, it's gonna capture it as well, because I have used I. If I didn't use I, it's not gonna capture dog. None. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because this topic is you don't need to memorize it. You need to understand how it can be used, how powerful it is, and how you can use it in certain scenarios. But you don't need to memorize everything. You don't need to like know all of these characters. Maybe with time you will know, like the famous ones, like the range and the parentheses, the basic ones, yeah. But the advanced like methods, for now you don't need to memorize, but just keep in mind this is a way to capture. If you faced a problem that you want to capture a pattern in a text, remember there is regular expressions, and you have ChatGPT is a very good resource. The thing is to understand what does the pattern means. This is something, yes, I think it's essential. So it's not about just knowing and then copying from ChatGPT, just understanding and then using. And because after that you can manipulate as whatever as you like, and yeah, it's gonna be very helpful. So this is using execute, but we can use regular expressions on the functions of strings. So for now, what we are trying to do is pattern execute on string. Now we can do the opposite. We can do string, then we use a string function like match and apply the regular expression. It's the opposite, and you'd have the same result, or you would have no, it's not the same result. You would have, instead of having like an array like this that you can access, you can have a different string based on your based on the functions that you're using. So let's say we have this string here. I have 10 words in a text that I need to check for regular expression. So I want to capture text. You can use these yeah, I can use these methods. So the first two, as I told you, we use regular expression, execute or test, and then we put the string as an argument, or we call string. We call these functions on a string. So string dot match, string dot match all, string dot search, string dot replace. Those are more common to use because we manipulate string and use the results of that manipulation directly. Yeah, those are more popular than those two, especially the match one, which returns an array containing all of the matches. So let's say I want to capture text. I just write the regular expression, and I say string dot match, I pass regular expression, I will get the result. Okay, I'm also having the same result. It's yeah, it's also return an array, the same thing. But yeah, the difference is with, as I told you, the use. This is used on string, pass, regular expression. And this do matching, only this do a kind of search, you can say. Now, if I want to check, for instance, I, and I need not only one, but all the I's, I can see, I can write my match all. Okay, I have an error. Yeah, it should be global. So a second flag I have is called G, the G flag. So the G flag means global. So this regex apply to all the letters. I mean, it applies not only to the first encounter, like the I, but to all encounters. So if I use match from I, so I'll capture the first I only, and it's on index 0, even though there's another one here. So if I want all the I's, I do match all, I pass G flag, then I'll capture an object. So now it's an object. So it's an object, and as you can see, an array. So I need to spread the array. So as you can see, I captured the two I's. The first one I index 0, and the second I index 31. This one. So if I want 0, 0, and if I want the second one, 1, 0, I'll capture I. So as you can see, in very short, and very easy command, I can catch multiple words, and I can access these words to. It's as you can see, it's 2D array now. I can have the indexes where I have found those, and I can, okay, I have, let's say a real example. You have a text of 2,000 letters, and you want to count how many times the word text is mentioned on that text. So in very easy way, you can say text, you can say G, you can say match all, and then you can do a kind of for loop to check how many text is found in this array, the bigger array, and you would have the result. This is like a real life example. So do you have any questions so far? Oh, I'm not overwhelming you more. I know you have assignments, you have projects. Okay. And yeah, before we move on, we have also instead of match, we have replace. We can replace all, for instance. So replace all takes two arguments. I will replace regex of I with you. And then I will see the results. Here, this should be global. So as you can see now, it's you have 10 words in the text that you need to check instead of I. So we are doing very powerful operations in using just like 2 or 3 lines of code. You can split. Split also is famous. You can split text into 2 based on like, let's say you have that and you want to split the text on there. So you can say split. As you can see, I have 10 words in the text. And it's in 2 words. If you want that, you can just split based on the dot. So I have 10 words in the text that I need to check for regular expression. So these are the string operations, the string methods. Now another way, or another way to okay, not another way, different characters, let's say, or yeah, we have different ways to write expressions. So we have, let's say we have these 2 email addresses, and we want to okay, let's see the results. We want to test if these email addresses start. So in this pattern here, the first one, this means the string starts with. So this is the string starts with user, email 1. Yes. Okay, let's check. Then I have to. We can apply this to email 2 as well. Does it start with user? We can check. True. Now pattern 2 is, does it end with com? $sign at the end, com. Does it end with com? True. Now let's say, does it end with example? Pattern 2. So I want all the email addresses that is from example.com. So for email 1 is true because example.com. The second email, other domain, it's false because it ends with other domain. So these also, as you can see, very useful. Starts with, ends with. They have many other uses as well, but this is a basic one, a very powerful one. Starts with, end with. So we have talked about execution and test, and we have talked about the parentheses, and we have talked about split, match, and match all the place. And there is also these parentheses, the brackets. These brackets gave ranges. I think you have seen those. So this means pattern. Let's see, pattern 2, pattern 1, pattern. So this means check one digit, this digit, the first digit. As you can see, we are writing pattern, so it starts from left to right, according to the text from left to right. So the first digit, which is on the pattern, it should have a character from A to Z. So let's say this email address start with 2. As you can see, I found the index, but now it's index 1, which is this one. But the first one starts with a letter. This means a letter from A to Z. So I catch that at the beginning. Here I catch it as a second or on the second index. Also, I have this range. So as you can see, null, because there is there's no capital letters in the email addresses. So you can use the range for each digit, and you can say, okay, I want all the email addresses that starts with a number from 0 to 9, and only one number, and then the second should be a letter. So I want all the email addresses. Let's say I have 3 or 5 email addresses. Some starts, some starts with numbers, but others don't. And I want to apply this pattern to all the email addresses. I want to catch all the email addresses that starts with 1 digit. So as you can see, null, I catched email 2, and I've catched email 4, but the others are null. So let's say I want to remove any email address that start with a number. This is an unwanted email address for me. I can also define, okay, it's the second one, email 2 and email 4. I can remove those because I don't want email addresses that starts with a number. So as you can see, it's a tool, a customizable tool that you can use the way you want to do many things on text, replace, match, and the pattern could be as complicated as you want. You can have it you can write a very long line of code. Which specifies, okay, Did you have any questions so far? Any feedback? Okay. We can have a break, 5 minutes, and then we can continue after that. All right. So let's continue with regular expressions. From my experience, when you're overwhelmed with programming, then okay, you feel like it's too much. I'm not focusing. I don't feel like I'm benefiting. But from my experience, like after you rest, what you have been experiencing with code, then you will find, okay, I've learned a lot. You will say that. This is from my experience. So don't, I would say, don't get, they say, oh, okay. Is it better now? Okay, if it's breaking again, just let me know. And all right, I'm gonna continue regular expressions. So chess story. I have another text here. So he played the king in a8 and she moved her queen in c2. This is chess story, and I have regular expression with these coordinates. It's called regex coordinates for some reason. So the regex here is /w/d. And to understand this, we need to go to the documentation. As you can see, we can find those under character classes. And this is /w and /d. So /w is matches any alphanumeric character from the basic Latin alphabet. So basically it says yeah, it's equivalent to this. If you remember the brackets I was talking to you about, those in the regex. So this means one digit, it should be either a capital letter of the alphabet, a small letter of the alphabet, 0 to 9, and it could be an underscore. So we can, instead of writing this here, we can just say /w. This is /w equivalent to this. Now, another character I have is /d, which is this one, matches any digit, Arabic numeral, equivalent to 0 to 9. So /d is equivalent to 0 to 9. It's this one. So what I'm trying to do, let's say I have a chess story and I want to count the what do they call it in the chessboard? The squares or the positions of chess pieces. So I want to catch the story or the coordinates that happen during this chess story. So as you know, this chessboard has an arrow of letters and a column of numbers, and the positions are like they have this formula of letter number A8, B something, C3, K 5, and so on. So I want to catch these, and I can catch them in order. So I can catch the coordinates of the chess story using regex coordinates. And I'm using the G flag, which means global. So if If the position appeared multiple times, then also I want that to be captured. So let's apply my regex to the chess story. And as you can see, I have A8, C2. So I can know this is the first player, this is the second player. Because it's alternative, as you know, chess. So from this, if I have a long chess story, I can know, I can have, I mean, I can give the I can extract the positions and provide those to the like if I have a different code that can, you know, like render the chess movement, then I can extract the positions, the movement, and give it to that code, and I can have a rendering of the chess game. So as you are noticing, regex, how powerful is regex. So another example I have, it's regex coordinates 2. So in this example, I'm looking for a certain word. So let's say I want to catch the, I don't know, the moved, I'm trying to catch moved here. So I'm saying, catch me the word that starts with M, then whatever letters between the M and T. So any words that, okay, let's say there is, we have moved, we can say a mustard. So I can catch moved and mustard. So catch me any word that starts with M and ends with D, and it's only a word. There's no numbers. If there's a number here, then I'm not going to catch that word. This is very also useful regex to catch certain words that starts with a number and that starts with a letter and ends with a certain letter.
What does the G stand for? The one in blue.
It's for global. So if I have, let's say, like different queens, like okay, queen played many times, then I can catch the queen many times, as you can see, queen. So if I have king here, okay, starts with K, end with G, and I have the king mentioned multiple times in the text, and the king maybe sometimes it's written in small letter for some reason. So I can use flags. The most famous flags and regex in JavaScript is G, I, and them. Those are the most famous. G stands for global, means apply the regex not only to the first encounter, but to the whole text. So if I don't have G, I'm gonna have only this king. As you can see, I captured only king. But if I add global, then I will have king. I've catched this and this as well. Now, if this also is written in underscore, the K, I can use the I flag, which means do the search, but you don't need to be, it's insensitive search. It's insensitive when it comes to case, it's case insensitive. This stands for I. So now I'm going to capture also both, even though this is in capital letters, this is in small letters, the K. I have also M. M means for multiple lines. So if I have /n and then the king move to a 7. I can catch king if I don't have M. I think it's not gonna work. No, it works. Let's check the M. Flag. A multi-line input string should be treated as multiple lines. M is used. Okay, it's an advanced topic, I would say. We can explain it, but let's remember those. Those are easy and very helpful. G is global, so do not just pick me the first encounter, pick all the encounters, save all the text. I means case insensitive. Now this is the expression of, this is something I would say if you keep in mind, like how to capture a word. Let's start with a letter, ends with a certain letter. It's this way. The first letter, the last letter, range of letters, and then no matter how many times these letters. So if I have a word that contains K, G, then, okay, not G, because you're using G here, let's say D, then G, I can also catch, I'm gonna catch this word, because star means no matter how many digits of A to Z between the G and the K. Okay, this is regular expressions. Now, any questions?
Can you just tell about that /W and /D above?
Yeah.
/W and /D.
Do you want me to explain it one more time?
Yeah, just a quick, if you can just tell.
Yeah, sure. So /W means it's equivalent to okay, we can go, as you can see, it's here, and /D is here. So /W means this. So instead of writing, why I'm using this example, because this is a chess story and it contains chess positions, like the board positions, and the board positions has the format of letter number, only one letter and one number. So I want one letter, one number. W means this, catch me A, like, okay, maybe the chess also has the opposite letter, number, but anyway, the /W means AZ, like this means one digit, and it should be either capital letter, small letter, a number from 0 to 9, and it could be an underscore. This is what /W means. /D means this, from 0 to 9. It should be a digit. So I'm looking for a word that has 2 digits. The first digit is, it could be a number, it could be underscore, and it could be a capital letter or a small letter of the alphabet. And the second, it must be a letter. So I'm looking for these words that only contains these 2. And let's say I have something like A8KK. So as you can see, I'm only looking for 1 digit, 2 digits, so this is not captured. I captured the A8. Here it is. And okay, there's A7.
Captured both. It captured both.
Sorry?
It captured both. It just picked up the first
Right.
two parts of it.
Yeah, it captured both, yes. The reason is what I can do is add spaces here and here. I only want like I only want these.
Did you
So
put a star end of it? So it is basically, you just need that, and anything that is after it, everything gets picked up.
I don't want everything to get picked up. So the thing is, I just want the A8. I want the positions of the chessboard. So I want the A8, the B something, the C2, and so on. So I captured A8 and A7, but I didn't capture C2 because it has a dot. So I can say maybe something like this. Yeah, I captured C2.
What is the question mark for?
The question mark if it's like to check if okay, let's look at the user question mark. It's I think it's this one. I think it's related to groups. It's used with groups in these scenarios. Okay, maybe we don't need the question mark here. Actually, without the question mark, we still can capture C2. So I want to capture, okay, as you said, if I add star, then I can capture A8 and A7. Or I can say something like it could be a space or it could be a dot. Okay, the space is /s, I think. Let's look. Okay. We can seek help from ChatGPT. Projects. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, it should be like this. This is what I was doing. Maybe the plus sign. Okay, so I get A8, I get C2, I get A7. And yeah. So this regex says, catch me all the words that has 2 digits. The first one is a letter or a number. The second one is a number. The first one is letter A to Z, capital or small, or it could be also a number. The second one should be exactly. The slash D is for numbers only. And after that, there's an option to have a white space or a dot. And plus sign is needed. So I captured A8, C2, and A7. Okay. Now I have this validator package. I maybe you would find also this like overwhelming, but it's a library of from Node, a package from Node.js to make validation on strings. So instead of applying regular expression, so you want to check if this is an email or not using regular expression, you can do that. Or you can just say validator, and if it's an email or not, you can just check with as email. So you have many methods. You don't need to memorize all. You can just, okay, this is string validator. I can come back to it later. I'm gonna send it to you on the chat, and you can refer to it later. So if you want to apply, once we work on the back end, we want to apply text validation, you can use the validator.js if you have heavy validation, or if you have like multiple validation fields. If you have something simple, then you can use regex. You can type your own regex like this and check the input. So another like method I have here is alpha, which means only letters. So I can check if I have letters here, then I would have false. No letters, then true. So once you work on code, you encounter something related to string manipulation or validation. Remember regex, and you also remember if you want to use the npm package of validator. Easy, provide you with very easy and very efficient methods. So we have equals, makes comparison, is alphanumeric, is Boolean, is currency, is date, and so on. It's basically, as the title says, validator, validate your variable or yeah, input. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about timeouts. So this is a different topic, not related, but also very useful. So in JavaScript, we have a function called setTimeout, which is a way to add timeout before executing certain code. So as you can see, I have set timeout here. One, I have three. Those are separate. The first one is of 500. This is in milliseconds. So this is 5 seconds, 3 seconds, and 1 second. So after 5 seconds, this is going to be executed. After 3 seconds from running the code, this is going to be executed. After 1 second, this is going to be executed. Okay. 4, 5. Maybe I should put it like this. This is the first, second, and the third. So I have the first after 1 second, second after 3 seconds, third after 5 seconds. So this adds interactivity to JavaScript, to your interface. If you want to have certain elements to appear or disappear, let's say after a certain amount of time, you can use set timeout. And also you can do clear timeout. So let's say I have the first timeout of 10 seconds and the second timeout of 3 seconds. So, okay, let's do this. I can say let timeout 1 equal to set timeout. So what I can do is I can clear timeout. Timeout 1. So in this case, maybe this case is not obvious or not useful to clear the timeout. But in certain scenarios, you want to clear a previous timeout because of another event happened. So after this message is printed, this is the message I want to print. This is the message that could be print. So after 3 seconds, I'm going to print this message and then I'm going to stop the time. Let's take a look. Okay, let's 5 seconds, say. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is the message I want to print. And as you can see, the program ended because I have cleared this timeout. I'm not waiting for 10 seconds for the second timeout. If this is not there, then I'm gonna wait 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be printed, then 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the second one is gonna be printed. So we set timeout, then we clear timeout. So again, in this scenario, it's not obvious or not useful, but in certain scenarios, you want to clear a previous timeout because another event happened. And to do so, you need to give an ID to the timeout like this, make it equal set timeout, and then clear it by calling the ID. So this is the basics of set timeout. Do you have any questions? Usually also set timeout is written in this way. Okay. Yeah, it's written this way, set timeout, arrow function, then the code that you want to run, and then add the timeout in milliseconds. It's this way. Yeah, you don't need semicolons, you just need the number in milliseconds. What else we can talk about here? Okay, this is we can come back to it later. Lastly, I have this mini game. Then we can take a look at and maybe learn from. What we can do is read the code and add comments. And here I'm using set interval. So we have set timeout, but also we have set interval and clear interval. So set interval is a way to repeatedly call the function. So you have a function that you want to call, for instance, each 1 second or each 5 seconds. You can do this with set interval. So set timeout provide timeout, like a delay to the function. Delay, I want to delay that to add a delay to the execution of the function. Then after that, the function is going to be executed. Set interval is a way to add repetitive calls to the function. Like I want to call this function multiple times each let's say each 1 second for 30 seconds, or each 5 seconds for 20 seconds, and so on. So let's look. I have an example here. We can add comments to the example. At the same time, take a look at set interval. So it's more like an example of set of interval and timeout, and an example of how this add interactivity to JavaScript. So I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna show you the game from the beginning. It's like a guess the number game. So guess a number between 1 and 10. I think we have done this already. And the idea is I have a play a game button here that I can press anytime and the game would start from the beginning. I have a timer of 10 seconds, and I have to guess the number before the timer runs out. If the times run out, then I have times up. The correct number was 7. I can play again by clicking on play again, and I can guess up to 3 guesses. So you have 2 guesses left from guess. So you are out of guesses. The correct was 5. So this is my simple game. Let's look at it. So I have H1, guess the number game, and then guess a number between 1 and 10, the titles. Then I have input field of number. It should be between 1 and 10. I have submit guess button, and I have a message that I display here, as you can see. And I have the timer, which is here, and I have the play button. So I have message, I have timer, and I have 2 buttons, input field, and the CSS for that. Now let's look at the JavaScript where the interactivity is happening. So at the beginning, I'm guessing or selecting a random number from 1 to 10 that I want to guess. So select random number to guess. I have number of guesses, and I have timeout. Am I using this here? Okay, I think not, because I'm using interval instead of timeout. So here I'm just capturing the elements, the user guess input, the input field, the guess button, the message element, and the play game button. I'm just capturing the elements so I can add interactivity. This is a good approach, is to just capture all the elements at the beginning, then you can write your code. So check guess, I think we have done this already in previous example. So here, like I'm passing the input from user guess input from the input field. So I'm like saving the entered value in user guess, and I'm doing the checking. I think most of you have done this already. So if the guess equals the random number, then congratulations, you have won the game. And I have end game function, which basically I disabled submit guess button, so I cannot click anymore here. Okay, it's gonna be played out. And also, I have, as you know, 3 scenarios. The first, if the user guess and the random number are equal, then you have 1. If it's equal 1, then you lost, because it's 3 to 1. So 1 is the last guess. If it's equal 1, then 3 attempts were used. So sorry, you're out of guesses. Or if else, which means if it's 3 or 2, then decrease the count by 1 here, and show the message wrong guess. You have you have 2 or 1 guesses left. Here I'm clearing the input field every time the user is entering a value. So the end game, as I told you, disable Now I'm capturing the timers. Those could be at the top. We don't need this. This we can also add them to the top. So now I'm capturing all the elements. Basically, this is the timer, and this is those are the two elements I'm capturing. Timer element and time left. Timer element is basically a static text, and the timer starts with 10, and we are updating that with time. So the example here is just to look at set interval. So how we are updating, how we are making this interactivity. As you can see, this is not static, it's dynamic, and it's working by itself. I'm not pressing any button, and I'm updating the screen. So to do this, I have this countdown function. So before I go to countdown, let's continue with the code. So I have the start game. I start with 3 counts. Then I have the random number here. I submit guess button false when I start the game. Then I want the guess button is working. And I have the message element to be empty. And I have play again equal none. This is, I think this has no effect. And I have 2 events where I click on each button, like submit guess and play again. Once I click submit guess, then I'm checking the guess. And once I click play again, I'm just basically refreshing the page. As you can see, this is not the best way to do this, but just to make it quick, I'm just refreshing the page. You can just write location.reload. So it's gonna refresh the page. Here I'm calling start game, and I'm also calling the counter, the countdown. Let's look at the countdown. So this is main game function to start. Here button events, and here this is how I call the functions: start game and countdown and the events. So everything works together. The countdown, let's look at countdown. So I pass seconds, and I take the seconds, add them to a counter, and then I define set interval. This is the function I was telling you about. So instead of having set timeout, I say set interval, and I add like number in milliseconds here, but the idea is this function is going to be called each 1 second. So it's not about delay. I'm not delaying the function for 1 second. No, I'm calling the function each 1 second, and this function is doing what's going to happen inside set interval, which is checking the counter. So the counter starts at 10. If it's more than 0, then decrease the counter by 1 and update the screen with the new value. So as you can see, is it more than 1? Yes. If it's then update the screen, and after 1 second it's gonna run again, and so on, so on. Once it's 0, then time is up. The correct number is this, and I disable the guessing button. So as you can see, more than 1 decrease, more than 1 decrease in display, more than 1 decrease in display. As long as it's more than 0, sorry, decrease in display, then if it's 0, then give me this message. and disable submit. It's disabled. So I'm updating message element. It's this one with once the time is up. And I can do this if, let's say, you have a timer of 60 seconds, you can update. Okay, you have a timer of 60 seconds, you can update each 5 seconds, for instance. So I'm passing here, I'm passing the time in seconds here. So countdown in seconds, I want the game to stay for 60 seconds. I want to give the user 10 of 10 attempts. Okay, I should update the initial value of 60. And now each 5 seconds, I'm gonna run the function. Okay, I should decrease by 5 seconds, not by 1. So I'm calling the function each 5 seconds. So I want the counter to equal minus equal 5. So each 5 seconds, the timer is gonna increase by 5. I have 10 guesses, so I can check all the numbers from 1 to 10 and cheat and win the game. So it was 9. I've won the game. Congratulations. You guessed the correct number. So as you can see, this adds interactivity to the game. It's interactivity is, as you know, something that users expect and found like users prefer, basically. Okay, I'm still increasing by 5. So in this code, I have to change the seconds I pass to count down. I have to change when each like how many times or how. Yeah, what are like the interval of calling the function each 1 second call the function, or each 5 seconds, or so on. So each 5 seconds then decrease by 1, or you can say counter minus minus. It also means decrease by 1, and we have the interactivity. Okay, so this is the set interval function, the set timeout function. Do you have any questions? Should I go back to any sections, or if you have any questions for regex as well, or validator today? Okay. I also, if you find regex like what I have, if you find that the documentation to be difficult, you can try a lighter resource, which is this one from W3 Schools. So this gives you a lighter introduction to regular expressions. It's not gonna dive into the difficult methods and everything. So you can just, okay, learn search, gonna give you true or false. Yeah, it's gonna like tell you about the famous modifiers, case insensitive, global, and then multi-line matching. And this is the patterns. Find any of the characters between brackets, A, B, C. This is the digit. This is a white space. This is beginning, and so on, quantifiers. So this is a lighter resource, but it's always like best to go back to the documentation, because sometimes you would find easier or more or more efficient way to do your objective or task using certain functions that you cannot find in lighter resources like this. And yeah, I was going to look here at the M. We were talking about the M. Let's look at the M. So we have do a multi-line search for is at the beginning of each line. Let's take this code. So I have do a multi-line search for is at the beginning of each line in a string. So this is the text. I have new line. Is this it? And is this it is multi-line. So this is line. This is a second line and so on. So if I want to like display text, let's say document get element by ID, and I have something for text here, ID of initial text, and HTML equal to text. So let's look at our text. Is this it? So as you can see, this is new line /n means new line. So /n makes like break the line and starts from the beginning like this. And okay, if I have a div here, I'm not sure why it's not. Okay. Okay, I have the demo, I have the P, but I can't see the let's go live one more time. Okay, so okay, this will give me multi-line. Yeah, it's PR in HTML. So I say something like this. So as you can see, I have one line here. I broke the line, so I have a multi-line search, and then okay, just to let you see it on JavaScript. This is like the PR equals to this, but this works on console. So if I have multi-line and I want to see the S, I want to search the S with the M, that if I add the M, I can capture it should start with okay, let's see this one. Have result of M. If I don't have M, then result should be none. So the M flag means search all the lines. So this is the first line. If I don't have the M flag, then I'm gonna only search this line. If I have the M flag, then I'm gonna search this line, and all the lines in my string. So this is the third flag I was going to talk about. So we have I, we have G, we have M, and you can use them like the way you want. G is for global to search all the string, I for case insensitive, and M to search if multi-line. So if you use G in this case, then you would also receive no, because this is first line, the second line, and the third line. So we need M to catch S, and then maybe global to catch all S to catch all the occurrences of S. Okay, so this is about regular expressions and set timeout, set interval, and the validator package of npm. Hope you find this helpful, and yeah, we will have a break now, and then you'll start the labs. Okay, everyone. This is the time for the second lab today. So again, like yesterday, this is gonna be a time for you to work on your projects and to answer your questions if you have any. So I'm gonna open breakout rooms, and we're gonna try to take questions either here on the main room or the breakout room. So if you don't want to like listen to, someone talking in the background, you can join a breakout room. Also, we can go to breakout rooms and answer your questions there. Okay, breakout rooms opened, and yep, we are here.
I thought I'd also mention, just in case, we can answer any like assignment questions you guys have as well. Also, like any of the material we've been learning, it's not like some of the stuff we learned on Monday that was just like a recap of prior material. And even like earlier today, the Flappy Bird demo, if it was confusing, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's not like you need to make that. But I'd say like the most important takeaway from that lecture is the idea that we can in real time update our DOM. And I think the notes thingy was pretty important, where like every time we hit a save, we added a list item to our like web page. Because like that idea is something that will come up in your project. The idea of how, doing things will actively update your web page. I think that's like the really important takeaway. So I wouldn't worry too much about like understanding all the details, but just sort of that general idea. And as well, I did post like, I'll put one for regex if I can find one. Regex is not something we're going to mark for in your project. Actually, let me double check the rubric for that. Let me just, yeah, so I don't see anything here about using regex. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, but regex is something that's good to know, and you can put that on the back burner for later. Yeah, but I have added, we've all added some videos and like for each week module, the resources that you can also look into. I think the GitHub tutorials are like a must watch for easy setup and like help with GitHub when we are not available to take questions like during office hours or labs.